This episode of Juice Guru Radio is brought to you by Try Best, making healthy living easy.
Welcome to Juice Guru Radio. Discover what the magic and power of juicing can do for you. And now, your host, best-selling author of The Complete Idiot's Guide to Juice Fasting, Steve Prusak.
Well, hello, welcome to the show. I'm Steve Prusak. We've got Estee Raviv coming up right here. She's the successful vegan author of the Mediterranean Flair Cookbook, Oy Vey Vegan. It's on its way to be a bestseller. So you want to hear more about her journey, how she got there, why she's featured on Oregon's #1 morning show, and more coming up right after this. So, like I say, get a juice, some water, some tea. We'll be back right after this with Estee Raviv.
Did you know you can make a great living in the hottest new business trend today? The Juice Guru Certification Program is the world's first online course to give you the knowledge and marketing skills to excel as a juicing coach and start making money in no time. Find out more at juicecoachtraining.com.
Juice Guru Radio.
Well, the commercial played, and I'm back with you. I'm here. I'm Steve Prusak. I've got Estee Raviv here. Again, her book, Oy Vey Vegan. We're going to hear more about that, the Mediterranean Flair. We're going to find out her journey, what led to writing a vegan cookbook, even eating the vegan diet. She's a mother of 3 beautiful kids. She's coming out from Oregon right now. She's featured on one of the morning shows there as a regular guest, so there's a reason for that. We're going to hear all about her inspiring journey. I don't want to give anything away. Estee, welcome to the show right now.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
Well, thank you for joining us. And first of all, let's dive into you and your background and what brought you to where you are now. How did you grow up eating plant foods, or what brought you to that diet?
Okay. So I grew up eating everything, but my general preference was always vegetarian, I would say. I did eat a lot of dairy all my life because dairy is a big thing in Israel. I grew up in Israel, and I loved dairy. I was never a meat lover, so I did eat meat, but very, very little and very rare. And, at some point in my life, I realized that my digestive system wasn't working as it should. And what I learned from experience is that, many times our bodies can deal or can take things, and when you get older, your body is less forgiving. Meaning that, I could live with eating dairy, and even if my digestive wasn't so well, I could still keep going. And at some point I realized that it wasn't normal. It wasn't normal the way I was feeling. It wasn't normal the way my body was functioning. And when I went to see a doctor, they never gave me the answers to a conventional doctor. Usually when you go to a doctor, they treat the symptoms, but they never really try to find out what's the problem, what's the root of the problem. And so I decided just to investigate and learn by myself, and that's what I did. So I started by going to a nutritionist. That was my first stop. And again, she was not very helpful. She asked me to write everything I eat and to document it. And then, after a week of documenting what I was eating, she said, okay, I can see that you're not eating enough protein. Well, okay, but what's next? And what do I need to do? And so she said, well, eat more protein, but she didn't really lead the way for me. So I kept going and continued investigating. And next stop was to do a hydrocolon therapy. I thought maybe it's the problem. Maybe it's over there. And so I did that, and I don't recommend doing it, to be honest, but I must say that the lady that runs that place, she was very, very knowledgeable about food. And she could tell me, I learned so much from her. And, I kind of, how do you say, I could get information from here, a little bit information from here, a little bit information from there. And then, doing my own research, I moved to, what else did I do? Oh, my neighbor is a gastroenterology. And she said, oh, Estee, let's go. I think you need to do that endoscopy test. So I did that too. To say that I needed it, probably not. But it was, again, one of the things in my way to understand what's wrong with me. And then,
now, how long ago was this? How far back are you taking us? Were you
probably
teenager?
7 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Probably around 7 years ago. And then I decided to make a change. I knew, all my life I was sure, I really believed that I was eating the right things. I believed that I was eating, healthy food. And until I learned from all of that process that I wasn't eating the right food for me. So as I said, I wasn't really big meat eater. So that was very easy to remove from my diet, but I was very much a big dairy eater. And to change my habits, my everyday habits of starting my morning with toast and cottage cheese and jam, and along with a pumpkin spice latte, especially in this time of year, it was very hard to give up. But the minute I did, I felt the amazing change in my body. Now, when I say that I made a change, I believe in taking baby steps, because it doesn't, changing your state of mind is that's the big tip that I can give. Changing the way you think. People think that if they go plant-based, it's a lot of work and it's more expensive. And what I'm saying is just changing your what you used to do to cook. Instead of wasting time on doing meat and potatoes, you're going to waste the same amount of time on doing, plant-based meal. It's going to take the same exact time, and it's going to be cheaper too. That was, one step. Now, also as
you were taking this step, what were your friends and family saying? Because I know in Israel, actually, eating plant foods is getting more popular. It's actually one of the most plant eaters in the world, from what I'm hearing.
Yes, it is very, very true. It is so advanced in Israel. And I do get inspired a lot from, recipes from Israel. And, in general, Mediterranean food is mostly vegan. I mean, like the basics, a lot of salads, a lot of fresh produce, a lot of legumes, the hummus and the tahini and falafel. Yeah, everything is vegan by definition. I mean, it's not. It's just vegan, and so. And I think also it's really, really the healthiest way to go anyways, to stick to the food that is in its original form, to eat a vegetable that looks like a vegetable, or anything that you eat. The less processed, the better it is. And also what I found is that it doesn't matter what age you are, you can make everything is an acquired taste. So if I used to drink latte every morning and I made a change to Americano with some almond milk, Now I can't even smell regular milk or cow milk. I can't even, I got so used to drinking my Americano with almond milk. And, people think, now I cannot change. And it's not true. I believe that you can change your habits and your taste buds in every age, especially if you know how good it does to you and to your body and to your mood and to your energy and to everything. It really does affect every single aspect of your daily life, everything.
So you went down this path, you gave up the meat and the dairy. I know you've also included juicing, right? Did you bring juicing into the protocol?
Yes, in fact, so I did that juice cleanse in Israel in one of my vacations there, and I loved it, and I highly recommend doing it. It's like doing a reset to your body. And when I did the cleanse, I was already vegan. So I believe it was a lot easier for me because my body was already, if I could say, clean. But there's always room to make it even, cleaner. And to really reset and as we spoke before, it really does make your brain clean. You become so sharp, and you feel like you're in high, like you feel so good, and when you feel this way, you're so easily can reflect it onto the world. Be nicer to people, be nicer to the world. And that's what happened to me, actually. When I felt so good about myself, this is when I decided to share it with the world and to write my cookbook. Because I know that there are so many people out there that suffers from digestive problems, and they don't know what's the reason. Because again, if they go to the doctor, most likely they're not going to get the answers to what causes the problem. And after my own experience, I can assure you and to the people that it's the best and the healthiest way to live. It's the best for not only for your own body, but for the environment, for the animals' rights, for human rights, for everything. It's just doing good to the world.
I just want to agree with everything you're saying, not just because I wrote The Complete Idiot's Guide to Juice Fasting. I'm not because, but I am on a juice fast right now, and I just dropped 7 pounds. My brain is sharp. I have so much energy, and I'm reminded, no matter how many times I do it, yes, I need a reboot. I need to reset, because why? We live in a polluted world, and no matter what, no matter how healthy we eat, we have to come back and reset. And so thank you for acknowledging that. And I love that was one of the impetus moments for you. Is that how you say impetus moments? It wasn't impetus. I think we use that as a noun. It was the impetus for you to actually write the book, which is exciting to me. And I want to talk more about the book. We want to hear about, Mediterranean cooking with a vegan flair. We're going to all that's coming up on the show. It's really exciting. As you guys know, we've got Estee Raviv on the show right now. And again, her book is Oy Vey Vegan, and she is just crushing it. And she's also an entrepreneur. So I know we've got over 100 certified juice therapists out there that are building amazing businesses, and I'm so excited to see what's happening. And many of you are looking to write your own book and live your passion as Estee is doing. And we're going to hear more about how she got down that path too. So it's all coming up on this edition of Juice Guru Radio. Now, I'm looking at the time, and Estee, do we have time to go into all that? What's your time? Do you have a few more minutes?
I do. I
should have asked you that first.
Yeah, I have the time, so that's good.
Well, I appreciate that. And so we'll go a few more minutes overtimes, because I want to get this all out. So tell us a little more about the book. And I know we're talking about vegan cooking with a Mediterranean flair. So we say vegan cuisine with it. So tell us more what we can expect in the book. I'm looking at some of the recipes, and they look phenomenal.
Thank you. Yeah. So what I did is, I I basically shared the recipes that I cooked for my own family. And so every recipe was, inspired by my childhood recipes from, my family. I grew up in a Jewish home. So a lot of can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, we got you.
Okay.
Can you see?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm just, for the people, if you're listening on the radio, you can't see the visuals, but I'm just giving a sampling here for those that are watching, so they can, you can always see at JuiceGuruTribe.com when we're going live. But we're showing some images from the book right now while you're talking about it. No, go ahead, please.
Okay, so what I did is, I didn't want to give up all my the Jewish holiday traditional food that I grew up on, and a lot of my mom is from Romania, so a lot of Romanian dishes. And a lot of Mediterranean dishes because I grew up in Israel. So what I did is I recreated those recipes into the vegan kitchen. And I must say that since I went vegan and I'm cooking, for example, my vegan pate, which comes to instead of the chopped liver in every Jewish holiday, is a big hit. People nowadays, even if they're not vegan, they don't want to eat chicken liver. They all know it's really bad for us. And so I do my vegan pate and it's just a big hit. Or matzo ball soup that I'm, again, in every Jewish holiday is also a big hit. My stuffed peppers, that's that's probably a Romanian style that I learned from my mom. So a lot of great dishes and very, very healthy. So one of the things that you can find in my book is that I use fresh ingredients as much as possible. The only processed item that I might have is the tofu and the soy curls that I have in maybe in 2 recipes there. But all the rest is really cooking from scratch, easy recipes, easy to follow recipes, and very inspiring. I studied graphic design, and I'm an artist in my soul. I'm a jewelry designer and I'm a gemologist, so I really come from the artistic side as well. And all the photography was done by me. And even the styling of the dishes, which I enjoy doing. So I really wanted to share my passion to real good food, and to try to convince people that vegan food is good food. They don't need to give up all the. If they think that they're missing out anything, my book is here to prove to them that not only they're not going to miss anything from their regular diet, but they're going to gain amazing food, very creative, and just very, very good. Yep.
Oh my gosh. This by the way, if you are doing a juice fast, I recommend not looking through the book right now because that was torture. And I went to the website, and by the way, the website is esteeskitchen.com. And don't worry, we'll have the links up at Juice Guru Radio for that, but it's esteeskitchen.com, and that's where you can see the book and all the amazing recipes, the media outreach, and it's really presented professional and beautifully and top notch. And I could see the branding is beautiful too. Which, if you've got that background in design, obviously that's where that comes out too.
And also, on top of it, I am cooking now some good stuff for everybody. So I'm working on launching my new online courses to help people make the change and to help them learn more of how to get into a plant-based diet. And also I'm working on my second book.
Okay, well, all that and that too.
Yeah.
So what I'd like to now, this is the entrepreneurial segment of the show, and I know this is for our certified juice therapists, and we bring this to you because I know so many of you want to know, how did she get to where she is? What can I do and implement into my business? So let's talk a little about your journey. What made you decide to live your passion? Because obviously you became passionate seeing that this information isn't getting out there. You want to inspire more people. How is it that you leave the daily 9 to 5 and live your passion? And maybe you could talk about that journey.
Okay. So as a mother of 3 kids, there's never enough time. Or as my mom would always tell me, I wish I could give you 2 more hours of mine in a day because I have plenty of time. And I always tell my mom, I don't have enough time. I have so many things to do. And so I think that it's all about priority and what really matters to you. And that's what I do. I'm very organized, and I'm trying to organize my day or to plan my day and my meals and my business, and everything together is planned so that I can fit, everything that I need to do in a day.
Well, that's a balancing act, because between raising 3 kids, you say, and and building a business and everything, and your relationships and everything like that, I would imagine that's it's a juggling act, isn't it?
It is. But you know what? When you do something that you like and something with a purpose and something that really makes me feel so good that I can help people, it's worth everything. And that's my answer. If you do, because it's as if I'm taking good care of myself, of my soul, of my passion, of me. I think it's as important as anything else.
So when you started building the business, how did you go about getting your voice out and then getting a book deal?
I really, really, really believe that my book and what I'm doing is so good and so high quality, especially compared to what's out there. And I really believe in my way, and I really believe in myself. And I think that conveying what I believe out there, people can see that. And probably a month after I published my book, I got a call from the TV, and they offered me to come and do a cooking segment. And I've never been on TV before, and that was amazing for me. So I really do believe in karma. I believe that when you do something good, not necessarily to yourself, to others, then
No, these are golden tips. I mean, we have to first say, what is our why? So what Estee was getting at, what is my why? I mean, she really is there to serve other people. It's not like, I just want to get rich doing this. It's, I want to serve other people. So when we think about that and think about our why, it always starts with that for your business. Why are we doing this? And it's a question you can meditate on for days and really get to the root of your why, and then implementation. That's always the next part. You've got to implement. You can't just sit back and let it happen.
Yeah, no, I work very, very, very hard to get my book everywhere, and to get the message also that, and again, it's my strong belief that everyone can make the change, and everyone can help themselves feel better. And if they follow what, my journey, because again, I feel like I can I say healed myself, or from digestive problems that I had my entire life. And I really, really, really want to help other people. That's all it is. And I really believe in my book and my recipes and,
yeah, and you're also niching it down. You've got a niche that you can speak to with this Oy Vey vegan and the Mediterranean flair, and it's unique. It stands out in the marketplace. So, okay, that's what we're going to say about the business part of it, and I think that's great. Any other words of advice for entrepreneurs that are looking to live their passion? Really, it's about living your passion. The work we do, we shouldn't be slaves. We should be free. It comes down to freedom and living the life we're meant to live. Any words of advice for them to get started, to start growing and keep going? Because there's a lot of competition out there. How do we stand out and make it happen? And like you, keep the positive attitude, just keep going.
Yes. And so one of the things is really believe in yourself. That's number one. If you don't believe in what you're doing, you're probably not in the right place or the right thing for you. So first thing is believe in yourself. Second of all, don't be afraid. The worst answer would be no. But if you're not going to try, you're never going to get to a yes, right? So that's number two. Number three, yes, you need to put effort and time, and it doesn't come easy. It doesn't come easy at all. But that's my dog is here.
It's funny. I thought it was my dog. I'm like, is that mine? It sounded like Henry. It sounded like Henry. He always does that.
I have a big golden doodle, and he's part of our family.
Oh, I see his tail.
Likes to be next to me when I'm working in my office. So
nice. And Henry's always with me too. My sweet, wonderful pit bull rescue. He's amazing.
They're amazing. Oh, dog is the best friend.
So getting back to the words of advice.
Yes. And also, yeah, as you said, I chose that niche because there wasn't any in that field. And plus, I am really connected to my roots. So it was it came very natural to me, very easy. And it's just, I reflect who I am and where I come from and what's my background. And
so you should, look at your passions and build something out of it. And that's the ground to take. Thank you again for being on the show. This has been a lot of fun. Again, it's Estee Raviv, and the website is esteeskitchen.com. And don't worry, we'll have the links up at juicegururadio.com for that too. So you'll be able to get a copy of the book. We'll have an Amazon link too for you there too, and so you can pick up the book. Mm-hmm. And I'm really excited to dive into it myself. I love falafel, so I can't wait to get off this juice bath so I could try some of these foods.
Yeah. So also, and so I just started to say before that the main point about my book is that it's all about healthy vegan recipes, but without compromising on flavor. And so healthy doesn't mean to be bad. Healthy can be gourmet, delicious, and just good food.
What about time? Do they require a lot of time? How much preparation? What can we expect when diving into the book?
Okay, so most of the recipes are super easy to cook or to follow, and has only a few ingredients. There are a few recipes there that are more time consuming, but most of them are super easy, and a lot of them you can do ahead of time. What I like to do in my life, is to plan plan ahead. And on Sunday, I like to prepare all kind of, dishes with food like say vegetables cut up, or quinoa, rice, whatever I can prepare ahead of time and keep it in the fridge. And then during the week, I just need to assemble it quickly and without compromising on eating healthy. So planning ahead is key, definitely.
Okay, well, I think we're ready to close out here. Again, I want to thank Estee for being here on the show and wish you much luck in the journey. And you have so many things coming, online courses, and really helping people, taking them by the hand and really helping to make this a lifestyle habit that's going to stick. We talk about the juicing, yes, but what we eat is important too. And we say the more plant foods, the better. If you can get on the plant wagon, then that's the way to go. I've been doing it for 26 years, and it works. It's amazing. I would never go back. Give it a try. Give yourself a 30-day challenge. It's worth the journey. You stand out from the crowd, you avoid the fads, and you eat what's real, what we're meant to eat, nutrient-rich plant foods. Estee, anything to say in closing? I'm really excited about your work and what you're up to.
So I just want to say thank you. And one thing that I didn't mention is that the minute I made the change, my body became balanced. And when I say balance, I mean that my body, for once in my life, was working properly, was working as it should. And that's what people need to expect, that when they do turn into a plant-based diet, it's really a problem solved for many of the chronic disease and God forbid, other diseases.
Well, if I could add to that too, one thing I would
a healthy life.
One thing I would add to that too is because I've seen people that have tried eating this way and just say it's not working for me. I needed my bone broth soup, or I needed this egg in my coffee, or whatever they're putting in their butter. And here's the truth about it is, I've been doing it for 26 years, and I know so many others that have been doing it even longer. And get the juices in there. You just need the nutrients. Get the nutrient-rich, the smoothies like you have in your book too. Just get a balanced diet. That's the key. You're not missing anything. So that always worries me when people are really into it and then they say, you know what, it just didn't work for me. It does work.
Of course it does. Of course it does. And again, baby steps is the best advice. Just make a little change every day, and eventually it's going to become, your lifestyle.
Estee Raviv, thank you again for being on the show. I'm going to ask your publishers to send me a copy. We usually get a review copy. I really want this book so bad. Thank you for being here. Really excited. It was a lot of fun. And please come back again. We'd love to have you.
Okay, it's my pleasure, and thank you for having me.
Thank you. I'm Steve Prusak, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Juice Guru Radio. Find out more about us at juicegururadio.com. Until next time, get your juice on.